Oh my God, shocking, shocking, shocking. This is truly an earth-shattering trade. The Los Angeles Lakers used Anthony Davis to trade with the Dallas Mavericks and acquired Luka Doncic. After seeing this trade reported by the well-known reporter Shams Charania, everyone found it difficult to calm down for a long time. At first, it was shock, thinking it was fake news. After repeated confirmations, everyone found out it was real. Then came confusion and lack of understanding. What kind of trade is this? This trade made the Mavericks' legendary star Dirk Nowitzki tweet that he did not understand. LeBron James also found out about this trade from the news, which shows how secretive, swift, and shocking this deal was. This is the most shocking trade in the NBA in many years. The first reason is that before the trade, there was no sign or rumor about it at all. Recently, the names circulating in trade rumors were Jimmy Butler of the Miami Heat and De'Aaron Fox of the Sacramento Kings, yet neither of them was traded. Instead, Anthony Davis and Luka Doncic completed a swap. The second reason is the level of talent exchanged in this trade. It's terrifying. Luka Doncic, in his normal form, is an all-around offensive engine, a player who excels at shooting, breakthrough, and passing. He alone can support the offensive system of an entire team. His ability to carry a team is historically elite. As long as he is healthy and plays regularly, his baseline is a top 5 player in the league, and most of the time, he is considered a top 3 player. Born in February 1999, he is not yet 26 years old, but he has already achieved 5-time All-NBA first-team selection, 5-time NBA All-Star, 2023 to 2024 NBA scoring champion, led the Mavericks to the Western Conference Finals and the NBA Finals, scored 73 points in a single game last season. Doncic has the true ability to dominate the league and is already highly decorated at a young age. On the other hand, the other key player in this trade, the Lakers' Anthony Davis, is also a powerhouse. He was once regarded as the center of the small ball era, a dominant two-way force. Generally speaking, Anthony Davis is considered a top 10 player in the league. He helped the Lakers win the 2020 NBA championship and has achieved 8-time All-NBA selection, 4 first team, 2 second team, 3 third team, 6-time NBA All-Defensive selection, 4 first team, 2 second team, 8-time NBA All-Star, NBA blocks leader for 1 season, 2 top 10 players swapping teams. This kind of trade is nearly unheard of in NBA history. Looking back at the most shocking trades in NBA history: 1968, Lakers acquired Wilt Chamberlain. 1975, Lakers acquired Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. 1992, Charles Barkley joined the Phoenix Suns. 1996, Lakers acquired Shaquille O'Neal. 2008, Boston Celtics acquired Ray Allen and Kevin Garnett. These blockbuster trades all followed the same formula: a team packaged multiple role players and future draft picks to acquire a superstar. This time, 2 superstar-level players swapped directly, especially considering that the Mavericks traded away Luka Doncic. In NBA history, no team has ever traded away a top 5 player who is still in his prime, under 26, and the clear franchise cornerstone. So why did the Lakers trade Anthony Davis? Because they were getting Luka Doncic. At his peak form, Luka Doncic has top 3 talent in the NBA. A fundamental rule of basketball. The gap between a top 3 player and a top 10 player is greater than the gap between a top 10 player and a top 30 player. When a top 3 player appears on the trade market and there's an opportunity to acquire him, any front office should act without hesitation. Moreover, Anthony Davis had been unhappy with the Lakers front office recently. He kept pressuring the team's management to acquire a starting center because he wanted to return to playing power forward. Since Anthony Davis had differences with the team's management, it is not surprising that Rob Pelinka and the Lakers front office decided to trade him. Especially considering that they received Luka Doncic in return, a top 3 player, the future face of the league, and a franchise cornerstone for the next decade. From a long-term team-building perspective, this was an excellent trade for the Lakers. On the other hand, the Mavericks trading away Luka Doncic is puzzling. As mentioned earlier, has any team in NBA history ever voluntarily traded away a top 5 player in his prime at age 25 or 26? Luka Doncic did not request a trade, nor did he have irreconcilable conflicts with the Mavericks management. It was the Mavericks who initiated the trade talks with the Lakers. To repeat, it was the Mavericks GM Nico Harrison who contacted Lakers GM Rob Pelinka. The Mavericks were more active as the sellers in this deal. I still find it hard to believe, was this really Harrison's decision? Luka Doncic may have his flaws, but he is a top 3 player in the league. He is one of the best perimeter scorers, one of the best ball handlers, an elite isolation scorer, one of the greatest offensive initiators. He has already led the Mavericks to the Western Conference Finals and the NBA Finals. He is not even 26 years old, and yet they chose to give up on him. Although I am still confused about this trade, I try to analyze it from the Mavericks front office perspective. Luka Doncic still has 2.5 years left on his contract, with a player option in 2026 to 2027. Normally, this summer, he would be eligible for a designated veteran extension. So, is it possible that Luka Doncic's camp hinted that he would not re-sign, which prompted the Mavericks to trade him now? I think this is highly unlikely. 1. There has been no report from any NBA insider suggesting that Luka Doncic would refuse to re-sign. 2. According to Shams Charania, after being traded, Luka Doncic was completely shocked. So, this wasn't a case of Luka Doncic forcing his way out or demanding a trade. The decision to trade Luka Doncic was entirely made by the Mavericks front office. So why did the Mavericks management, led by Harrison, give up Luka Doncic? According to various sources, it is likely due to concerns about Luka Doncic's health. Luka Doncic's physical condition has not been good this year. He has been in and out due to injuries and has only played 22 games. In the games he played, he averaged 28.1 points per game, which is significantly lower than before. His ball handling frequency has decreased, his primary offensive output has dropped, and his ability to carry the offense has declined. Even his passing and assist numbers have shrunk. His drive attempts this year are much lower than in previous seasons, his rim attacking output has declined, and his free throw drawing rate has also dropped significantly. Combining these statistics with game footage, it does indicate that Luka Doncic's physical condition is subpar this year. Additionally, his performance in the latter half of last season and in certain playoff series, including his injuries and personal offensive efficiency, made the management hesitant. Furthermore, there are concerns about his defensive issues, emotional outbursts on the court, and body management problems. Based on all these reasons, it seems like the management decided to give up on Luka Doncic, but I still find it very unconvincing. Even if he is not in peak physical shape this season, his skill level is still high. He is only 25 years old. Even if his body declines, how much can it really drop? This season, when he is on the court, the team outscores opponents by 10.3 points per 100 possessions compared to when he is off the court, which is the best impact of his career. Although the team was still winning early on without him, recently, the Mavericks' performance has been terrible, only winning 6 out of 15 games in January 2025, one of the worst records in the league. So, I am still shocked and struggling to understand this. After the Lakers traded Anthony Davis for Luka Doncic, they essentially found their successor to LeBron James for the next 10 years. This is their new franchise cornerstone. They only gave up a 2029 first-round pick, which, overall, is not a heavy price to pay. From a long-term team-building perspective, this trade undoubtedly deserves an A rating. Some Lakers fans might wonder, does acquiring Luka Doncic mean the team will enter a rebuild? No, the Lakers will not rebuild. Getting a player like Luka Doncic means they are playing to win now. The Lakers will not tank. So this season, this summer, and next year, the Lakers will certainly invest heavily. Of course, with Anthony Davis gone, the biggest issue for this team is the severe hole in their front court. Players like Hayes and Kleber, whom they acquired from the Mavericks, struggle even as backup centers, let alone as starters. In this trade, they also gave up Christie. While Christie is not a particularly strong player, he is a good fit for the Lakers' current needs as a defender and shooter. Reddish and Vanderbilt still have shooting issues. So the Lakers' current roster desperately needs a player who can defend, shoot threes, and has size. Ideally, this player should be able to guard both guards and forwards. One Finney-Smith is not enough, they need another one. How will Luka Doncic fit alongside LeBron James? Will they have compatibility issues? First of all, with Luka Doncic on the team, LeBron James will have a lighter offensive workload and won't need to carry the team as much. With both Luka Doncic and LeBron James as elite ball handlers, Austin Reeves might have to come off the bench. Having both LeBron James and Luka Doncic means the Lakers will have high-level offensive creation for all 48 minutes. One of the Lakers' biggest problems right now is their bench unit, which often loses to opponents' third-string lineups. With LeBron James and Luka Doncic taking turns leading the team, the Lakers' overall strength is guaranteed. Of course, there might still be some issues with their pairing. Firstly, Luka Doncic is the most ball-dominant player LeBron James has ever played with, which will require some adjustment. Secondly, since LeBron James and Luka Doncic have similar body types, their pick-and-roll potential is limited. Moreover, when LeBron James is handling the ball, Luka Doncic will need to improve his off-ball movement. After this trade, the Lakers' short-term competitiveness may take a hit due to their thin front court, but if they can make the right reinforcements, they will still be a strong contender. On the other hand, after making this trade, the Mavericks now have a surplus of big men. With Anthony Davis, Gafford, and Lively, their roster structure is now top-heavy, and they lack perimeter creators. Kyrie Irving is the team's only perimeter shot creator, and they don't have a true point guard. Their three core players, Kyrie Irving, Anthony Davis, and Thompson, are all over 31 years old, meaning their championship window is short. They are still missing a solid, versatile 3-and-D forward as their fifth starter. Meanwhile, they have too many players at the shooting guard position. In this trade, the Lakers secured their franchise cornerstone for the next 10 years. They traded a 31-year-old player for a 25-year-old one while only giving up one first-round pick and Christie. Purely from an asset perspective, they absolutely won this trade. With LeBron James and Luka Doncic, the Lakers only need to reinforce their front court and add a top-tier 3-and-D player to remain competitive. This trade should be rated Lakers A+, Mavericks D-.